All right, YouTube. Today is May 30th, and I'm going to be making a video about my 2008 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. So it's a JK, and it would be one of the early model JKs that came with the 3.8 liter V6 that most people considered to be trash because the Pentastar came into place into the same chassis. I guess I don't know. People will tell me in the comments, but I think it was like 11 or 12 or something like that. Anyway, the Pentastar is considered to be the superior engine for a variety of reasons, and this is a vehicle I bought from Copart, and it's pretty rough. It is pretty rough. So I guess the goal of this video, there are going to be many videos about this Jeep, but the goal of this video is to just kind of show you how bad it is, or maybe some things aren't as bad. Talk about a little bit about what we want to do with it, and maybe talk about what I paid for it, things like that. Just kind of some general stuff, and then there'll be tons of future videos as we upgrade it, fix it, modify it, that kind of thing. Anyway, so let's start digging into the dirt, and it is dirty because it got picked up on the East Coast. Was it New Hampshire? I think it was, or no, it was Boston area. I shipped it from the Boston Copart lot to New Hampshire, which was a dumb idea that maybe at some point I'll talk about, but maybe just would be a waste of time for a video. But I shipped it to a YouTuber named Flying Wheels. He's a guy named Craig that owns a used car lot there, and had them do an inspection, and then I had it shipped from there to me here in California. So between sitting on the Copart lot for God knows how long, sitting in New Hampshire, and then now sitting here it's only been here for about a week. It's just been sitting outside a lot. So okay, so first things first, obvious thing here is that this has the newer Rubicon wheels on it. It looks like the previous owner probably at some point jumped on Craigslist, saw someone selling these wheels for cheap, or had a buddy maybe that took them off and upgraded his wheels and grabbed these up. I actually love these wheels. I had a 2013, I think it was, Moab at one point. It was an amazing Jeep. I had it for 3 years, I think it was. Really loved that Jeep. It had these same wheels and tires, same wheels on it. But you'll notice the back wheel is the regular 2008 Rubicon wheel. So I do plan to grab another one of these just because I'd really like it to be matching. Anyway, I don't really have a huge plan here, so if I sound disorganized, that could be it. And also, I'm right next to the airport, so hopefully the planes don't come in too loud here and mess up the video. All right, so how about this? The hood. In the pictures I saw in Copart, there was snow. It was snowing. It was during winter when they took the pictures, and the whole hood was covered in snow. And I don't know if they purposely didn't knock the snow off or if it's just coincidence, but I thought that the hood was just, a regular black hood, and it wasn't. It was silver, but you couldn't tell because of the snow. Maybe I'll, if I have the time to edit a picture of that in, I'll throw that in here. We've got some damage pretty much all over the place. So you can see these fenders are pretty marked up. It's not terrible, but pretty marked up. This lens is pretty jacked up. It's not cracked all the way, but it's kind of junky. You can see the panel gap on this fender right here, front fender, on the driver's side, is wider here, and as you go up, it's touching. So there may have been some sort of an accident on that side, and could have something to do with why the hood is replaced with a different color hood. Front bumper, you can see some damage right there. It's just a plastic stock bumper. And the headlights don't look cracked or anything, that's fine. We've got some rust kind of showing through with paint chipping off right here. And windshield wipers don't look too great. That's fine, that's a cheap, I already ordered those, they're actually already here. I think the thing that's the grossest looking out of this whole Jeep is the side steps, Nerf bars. They are so rusted through, it's disgusting. And I knew I took a really big risk buying this with that showing, but fortunately, from what I've seen underneath the car, the underside of the car is not too bad. So we also have a little bit of rust showing here with that cap kind of looking a little worse for wear, I guess you could say. There's definitely surface rust you can see underneath, but it's not like corroding, not like this. So that's a pretty good sign. You can see this one, this cap is also kind of falling off. I'm just kind of looking at the suspension under here. Anyway, I'll keep moving around here. It kind of sucks that the Rubicon logo is missing from the hood, but it's not, I guess it's not a big deal. It is what it is. Hard top. Let's see, let's take a look in here too. So yeah, as you can see, it's surface rust. It's not bad, like on the actual chassis. Tires are actually pretty good. We got some crack here in the tail light, and this little cage that goes around the tail light is cracked. Obviously no license plate. Here's some damage right here, the tailgate. I don't know what happened with that. I'm guessing someone swung it out maybe and hit something, or maybe there was something that was like kind of tall off the ground, and when it went back, it hit it on the way to close. Who knows? It's not that big of a deal. Maybe I could hammer that back into place. Has a tow hitch. I didn't notice this before. That's missing, that little plastic piece. And for some reason this gap looked a little bit funny to me just now, but actually I think that's normal, so no big deal. Coming along this side, I think I remember seeing some sort of a dent over here. Maybe not. You know what? Maybe I'm remembering that incorrectly. Maybe there is not a dent over here. But this taillight's fine too. Just missing, looks like it's missing a screw right there. Kind of funny. Take a look over here, and this fender well looks all right. So this side skirt, this one actually looks better, like the cap thing and the rust. It looks better than the other side for some reason, but these Nerf bars are basically just as gross as the other side. I'll take a look in this wheel well. Doesn't look too bad. And you can see some like surface rust there. But that's not too bad. I think that's something, since I'm gonna be doing so much work, I could probably just hit that with some of like rust removal product and then just paint it with some Rust-Oleum black coating stuff. So that's pretty much it for the majority of the exterior. A lot of people are probably thinking, oh, that's not that bad for an auction car, and this has a clean title. This was sold as damaged because of mechanical reasons. So my assumption was that it had a blown motor, because I figured that would kind of be worst case scenario, and my understanding is that it does. I just noticed this is weird. Yeah, the paint right here is just peeling right off. Interesting. It almost looks like it's spray painted or something, and maybe it was. There's more right here. If you're thinking, why would you do that? Well, I'm gonna paint the whole car. So I got 2 keys. They actually said there was only 1, but I ended up finding the other key in the glove box. You can see these are both very, very used. You can't even see the logos on them anymore. The battery is dead right now, of course, because it's a Copart car. So I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. And now we can look at some of the grossness inside the car. So you can see we've got some crack here. That's not a big deal. I mean, it's a Jeep, right? But I'm sure I can find a replacement panel. The seats aren't really that bad. I'm sure if I pulled these out, steamed them, they would be pretty good. But I have some seat covers I'm gonna put on them. And you can see, like, this is usually where you see the most wear, here and here. And there's a little bit of wear there, but that is really not bad considering this is like a 180,000 mile 2008 Jeep Wrangler. Very dirty down here. You can see there's some rust on the seat posts. So again, this is something I'll pull these seats out completely. I'm gonna redo all the carpeting stuff. And then we'll just strip this down and repaint it so it looks nice again. And you can see the third pedal. That's a thing. Some people will be excited about that. There's the shift knob. Is that normal? Sideways? Is that normal? I don't think that's normal. It's funny, usually when it's off like that you can move it, but this is not wanting to go anywhere. Okay, so yeah, there's the it's got 6 speeds, as you already knew because you saw the 3rd pedal. I don't know if this head unit is aftermarket. I don't think it is, because I had that 2013 I mentioned. I think I remember their USB port being right there. But I noticed this little guy, it's like a speaker with a wire coming out from in here. And what is, you know what, I actually never noticed this. This is aftermarket. Daystar, that's a brand. There's a rock, wherever that came from. But I don't, is this a locking cabinet or something? Or maybe it's just a shelf. I'll have to look that up on the internet. We're missing the little plug end there, whatever I don't even know what you call that, but the little plastic piece that like this one. But we're missing the shift boot, and then this is really gross. I don't know why this is like this, but maybe it has something to do with the motor being bad. Maybe the transmission's bad too, for all I know. It's really dirty in here. I don't know what this goes to. I'm guessing I'll find out at some point. Maybe it doesn't matter. E-brake seems to work fine. We have that engaged at the moment. As I mentioned, it has about 180,000 miles, if I remember correctly. And there are some feathers in here. I thought that was pretty weird. I probably need to get those the heck out of here. Although, you know what? The person that owned this vehicle, the feathers, I know this might sound, I'm not trying to make this sound racist or anything, but it had a Native American, like chief looking guy on the rear tire cover. There was a tire cover over the rear tire, which probably makes sense because they didn't have matching wheels. And it was like a chief guy with a big headdress on. So maybe the person was Native American, and maybe the feathers were, I don't know. I know that like the headdresses, you have feathers in them. I hope that doesn't, hopefully that there shouldn't be anyone being offended by just making general statements like that. Anyway, we got a free pen. There was some change, a penny there. But these floor mats are pretty gross. The carpeting doesn't look that bad. I think it could easily be cleaned up nice. But so far, you know, I've already looked in here before, and I didn't notice a whole lot of things looking too bad in here overall, other than like the cracks and that a couple missing pieces. You know, speakers are still on the sound bar, so that's good. And let's take a look in the back. Gotta be really careful sliding your leg down right here, not to catch your leg on that rusty steel. All right, what was the procedure? This? It's not like my Mustang doesn't just slide forward. So there's another one of these caps. That's interesting. I'll have to figure that out. Oh my gosh. I think I got a marble, guys. Oh, score. I'm rich. Marble acquired. Amazing. That's gonna be the highlight of the video. Over there, it almost looks like someone smeared poop on the window. The inside of the window, I think that is. Maybe it's just mud. I now know where that cap right there, that cap goes to that top of that seatbelt. And look at this one, missing also. So we know where the other cap thing went to as well. Cool, making some big progress. Put that lucky marble in my pocket. Don't want to forget that. And let's take a look at the trunk. Sorry, I'm just fiddling for a key here. All right, so this actually has a subwoofer back here, so it must have had like the good sound system, but it looks like it was definitely exposed to the elements. That is quite a bit of rust there, and that is unusual right there. It's like chalky white. Maybe someone in the comments will be like, oh, be careful, so-and-so, that means something. Or maybe, who cares, like maybe it doesn't matter. But, you know, when you look in here, you can see like that tool looks a little rusty, but the actual bottom doesn't look too bad. And I really haven't been back here, so it looks like they've got an air pump. They left a Husky branded air pump for me. Thank you very much. That was very kind of you. Lots of dirt everywhere, which, you know, hey, it's a Jeep. You know, you can't blame the person, right? It's a Jeep Rubicon, and whoever this was that owned it probably was outdoorsy. Good for them. Let's see if this works. That kind of broke off. I don't think that's supposed to break off like that. Yeah, it looks like that clip maybe it was supposed to have another piece on it that broke. I don't know. Any secrets? No secrets. The treasure hunt has only found one. Oh! Would you look at that, guys? I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. You would think that I planted these marbles here as like a joke. I did not. I did not plant these marbles here. This was pure coincidence. That's going in the pocket. I wonder if we'll find any more marbles. My kids are gonna have a heyday. So anyway, yeah, sound system has the good sound system. So there was some upgrades. I mean, as a Rubicon, I think you're probably more likely to have some of the big options when it was a Rubicon. I'm probably going too slow for you guys. I apologize. I really don't care though. All right, let's pop the hood. When I say pop the hood, I don't know why I just did that. Sorry guys. This is where you can really make fun of me. You know, it's not easy to know exactly what to say when you're making a video. Airplanes flying everywhere. So this engine is very dusty, very dirty, and I'm gonna clean that. Come on, helicopter! So I plan on cleaning the car today and cleaning the engine bay as well. And in fact, let's go take a look at the note from Flying Wheels, because there's a piece of paper in here that they wrote on. Oh, here it is. Here, right here. So, here's my note. Motor possibly locked up, cannot turn crankshaft by hand, oil in motor too full, and looks like it is clear liquid in it at bottom of dipstick. No coolant in radiator, needs battery, Nerf bars completely rusted, customers deep. Craig, this is what Dave thinks Jeep needs. Customers Jeep. It says customers Jeep with a star. Craig, this is what Dave thinks the Jeep needs. Okay, I don't know what that means. I mean, just needs the battery and the coolant, and that the motor is locked up. I mean, that's not really, I don't know. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just not really sure what that means. It's not like they charged me a bunch of money or anything though. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end the video. It's already been almost 18 minutes, so you guys are already bored as hell. And I'm gonna clean this Jeep, clean the engine bay. I'm gonna pull the spark plugs, and I'm gonna try turning the motor over by hand, just like they did, but with the spark plugs out, because apparently, you know, I'm not an expert, I'm not a mechanic, but I went on the forums, I talked to people, they said that's what you should do. You pull the spark plugs out, and then you try turning it over by hand, because you release the pressure or whatever, the seal, and then if it doesn't turn over by hand, it means you have like a seized engine, basically. Kind of like the pistons and rods, or I guess it's the pistons, are like so scored or etched into the sidewalls of the cylinders that they're just stuck there, almost like rusted together, or whatever you want to call it. Not rusted necessarily, but they're stuck together, embedded into each other, and that's just pretty much a completely bricked motor at that point. So I'm planning on pulling the motor no matter what, and I'll just say this really fast. I'm going to put a BMW M57 3.0 liter inline 6 twin turbo engine into this with a ZF 8 HP 70 8-speed automatic transmission. I know people are like, you have a manual. I know. I have other manual cars. I like manual, but I need something that can hold the power. An M57 can easily make 800 foot-pounds of torque, and the manual transmission that comes with this Jeep, if I tried to mate that up to it, it wouldn't be able to hold the power unless I probably heavily modified it. I probably could find some other brand of manual transmission, but it's probably going to be really expensive, and blah, 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 blah. And the 8 HP 70 ZF transmissions are really cheap and easy to get. They were used in Dodge Rams. So blah, blah, blah. I'll get into that later. It's going to be fun. And I'm trying to keep this video under 20 minutes. We're about to hit 20 minutes. So how about I cut it? And I didn't tell you guys how much I paid for everything, but it was like around $5,000 for the Jeep Wrangler. If it was running and driving, it'd be $20,000 here in California, and then I paid like probably $4,000 more in fees and shipping. So I think I'm into it for $9,000. I've already ordered a bunch of the parts. They're here. I just don't have the transmission and the engine and a bunch of other stuff, but we'll get into that later. Thank you, and I'll have another video when this thing's all cleaned up and some findings under the engine bay. Thanks, guys.